We are now live.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order at 12:35 p.m. First thing I'll do is read the territorial land acknowledgement. Before our meeting gets underway, I would like to formally recognize the traditional keepers of this land and specifically our neighbors of the Alderville First Nation with a formal territorial acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Alnwick-Haldeman is located on the Mississauga Anishinaabe territory and is the traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabe. The Township of Alnwick-Haldeman respectfully acknowledges that the Mississauga Nation are the collective stewards and caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. Thank you. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? Seeing none. Item 4 is approval of the agenda. Be it resolved that the agenda for the regular council session of Thursday, October 21, 2021 be approved as circulated. Could I have a mover, please? Deputy Mayor Gibson and Councillor Booth or Councillor Hogg second. All in favor? Carried. Item 5 is approval of our strategic planning session minutes of September 16th, 2021 and regular council session minutes of October 7th, 2021. Be it resolved that the strategic planning session minutes of September 16th, 2021 and the regular council session minutes of October 7th, 2021 be approved. Mover? Councillor Phillip, second. Deputy Mayor Gibson. All in favor? Carried. Is there any business arising from either of these minutes? None? Seeing none? Okay, item 7. Today we welcome Bobby Dawson, CEO of the United Way Northumberland. And be it resolved that council permit Bobby Dawson, CEO, United Way Northumberland, to take the floor and make a presentation to council, an update on community programs and their new initiatives. So I guess she's taking the floor by Zoom. Welcome, Bobby.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Mayor, Council. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I am going to ask if I can share my screen, if that's possible.
Sure. I'm just going to ask for a motion. Could I have a motion to have her moved by Councillor Booth, second by Councillor Phillip. So go ahead, Bobby.
Thank you. Oh, it's telling me that the host disabled participant screen sharing. Oh, there we go. Wonderful. Can everyone see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So as you may or may not know, United Way Northumberland has been in Northumberland County for just over 50 years, going on 52 years this year. And we are the largest funder of social service programs outside of government. And we work with partners both within the not-for-profit sector and cross-sectorally to look at sustainable solutions to some of our community's most pervasive social issues. And that's sort of what we do in a nutshell. This is our staff team at United Way. We serve all of Northumberland County, so from Port Hope all the way to Trent Hills to Brighton. A lot of our services a lot of the funded services are available in Cobourg and Port Hope, more central areas, but we do provide outreach services. We fund organizations that will drive out to the more rural areas to provide services for people living in those vicinities. You may or may not know that 1 in 3 residents in Northumberland County access a United Way funded program or service. And often when someone accesses one program or service, they usually access multiple. The impact of that is immeasurable. There's no telling how that might improve their immediate family, their friends, their larger social group, and the community as a whole. This is Steve. Steve is, the photo is representational to protect Steve's identity. He is a resident in Northumberland County who found himself without being able to support his family during the pandemic for the first time. And they felt as though they had lost everything. This is a common story, unfortunately. But as a result of being able to access United Way funded programs and services, he feels as though he's been able to put his life back together. In 2020, we put $801,000 back into Northumberland County essential programs and services. And that was as a result of the generosity of local residents, as well as partnerships, both provincially and federally, through our Emergency Community Support Fund and through seniors funding, as well as a fund that was created by United Way Northumberland. And that is the COVID-19 Community Relief Fund. So since March of 2020, we've put over $45,000 back into essential programs and services, and we are about to invest an additional almost $40,000 into local programs and services. This fund is more flexible than our regular funds, so our annualized funding and our grants funding. Those have a pretty stringent process, application process and review process through our Community Impact Committee. We still review these applications for COVID-19 funding, but we did want to allow for more flexibility to be as responsive as possible to new and emerging needs. As a result of that, we've been able to participate in supporting 30+ organizations across Northumberland. We have a full list of those organizations and the services that they provide on our website. This is different in that typically we might have 6 to 8 annualized funded partners in a year, and we might have a few more with our grants funding, but through different partnerships and through our community support, refund, we were able to reach out to even more organizations this past year. We do our work in 3 focus areas. So we help kids be all that they can be. We move people from poverty to possibility, and we build strong communities. And that's just really a fancy way of saying, of sort of organizing how we do our work in the community. So for all that kids can be, we this past year, there were 354 families that joined the Positive Parenting Program at Rebound. And that really looks at a holistic approach to the whole family, because we know research shows that children do best when the entire family is supported. And so that program really has a great impact in the community. 179 kids were able to participate in Big Brothers Big Sisters mentorship programs, and 92 children participated in online music training through Sounds of the Next Generation. And that helped to combat social isolation and improve mental health during the lockdowns for COVID-19. This is Laura's story, very common as well. Both found themselves out of work, and they had 3 kids that needed to go back to school. And through our backpack program, we were able to provide her 3 kids with full backpacks, all supplies, masks, hand sanitizer, those kinds of things, to ensure not only a safe return to school, but also a good start to the school year. In building strong communities, this is the focus area. We typically look at social inclusion, we look at mental health supports, counseling supports, those kinds of things. And so last year, 684 individuals received counseling support. There was also 93 families, including 177 children, that received wraparound support, access to food, housing, employment, and other assistance. Common story in Northumberland County with our demographics, the big retirement community. And so often one spouse might find themselves alone. And this was Richard's story. So, you know, this is where sometimes seniors experience isolation. They're unable to participate in group activities, or they're unable to get out and get the supplies that they need, or perhaps they need assistance getting to medical appointments, those kinds of things. And that's what we look at when we fund through our communities focus area. From poverty to possibility, this is a focus area that looks at basic needs. So food security, housing, those kinds of things. So 708 households in Northumberland County were able to receive support through the Salvation Army Christmas Hamper Program last year. 395 were assisted with intensive housing services, and 69 others were supported with rent geared to income applications through the Help Center. As well, we were able to provide 895 nights of shelter to 53 individuals by partnering with Transition House. This is a common story as well, Mike's story, needing to choose between rent, paying bills, and buying food. As a result, we have created the Northumberland Eats program, which I will get to in just a moment. So as well as providing support to organizations external to United Way, we also provide our own programming. And there are 4 of those programs, and then on top of that, we have 211, which I'll also speak to. Period Promise, Northumberland Eats, Backpacks for Kids, and Day of Caring. So since its inception, more than 17,000 backpacks have been distributed for kids in our community. And of course, in the last couple of years, we've included masks and hand sanitizer as well. Day of Caring, you may have heard of it or participated in it at some point. We have some fantastic partners that participate every year in Day of Caring. We haven't been able to do it for the last 2 years because of physical distancing protocols, but thankfully, so many of these partners came out and donated funds to our COVID-19 relief fund in lieu of participating in Day of Caring. So we thank them. We are hoping to have another Day of Caring this coming June, should everything be quote unquote back to normal. So Northumberland Eats is a partnership between Northumberland County and United Way Northumberland. And it started around Christmas time last year when there was a need to provide hot meals for folks in our community. We also saw a need to help stimulate some of the smaller businesses that were really struggling as a result of a lot of the lockdowns. So since we created this partnership, we've been able to distribute more than 11,000 vouchers totaling around $70,000 into the community. We hope to continue this program moving forward and have it be something that folks in Northumberland County can depend on moving forward. Period Promise is an initiative that has been created within the United Way movement. So many United Ways across the country are taking this on. And really what it is, it's a promise to end period poverty. And really it looks at, folks who struggle between making choices around other basic needs and being able to ensure that they have what they need for menstrual hygiene products. So since we've created this as well, we've been able to distribute over 7,000 products in Northumberland County, and it's a partnership between Thrive Northumberland Coalition to End Violence. There is a more formal delegation. I believe the wording has been sent along, but I will read it as well here. So it's Northumberland United Way and Thrive Northumberland request council to adopt the following recommended action. That council recognizes members of its community experience financial barriers in accessing menstrual hygiene products. And further, that council support the work of Period Promise Northumberland by pledging its support to end period poverty in the municipality. And further, that council consider the provision of free menstrual products in all municipal facilities as part of the 2022 budget deliberations. 211 is a number that anyone can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's something that's supported not just by our United Way, but the entire United Way movement across Canada. And through the pandemic, we've received additional federal funding for the program. It's a non-emergency number, but it's available for folks in 150 languages, and it helps people navigate the social service system. So if you need help with finding housing or counseling support or food support, any of those things, you can call 211 or go to ontario211.ca and support is available. We're excited to announce as well that we have recently become a certified living wage employer. As of last year, living wage in Northumberland County was $18.06 an hour. We're proud to say that anyone who works for United Way will make at least a living wage. I understand that that has actually increased this year, and so we will be sharing some information on what that is in the coming months. So this is our campaign message this year, and it comes from the concept that we've had to do things a bit differently through the pandemic. We've been innovative in ways that we haven't been before. It's been a bit of an agitator in that it's allowed us to get creative and change the way that we do things. And as a result, we've built some really great partnerships in the community, and some really great initiatives are underway. So we really want to continue with that momentum. And we want to ask, everyone in Northumberland, what will you do now after learning all of what you've learned through the pandemic? A more formal delegation to Mayor and Council. Northumberland United Way requests Council to the following recommended action. That Council recognizes the contributions of Northumberland United Way by pledging financial support to the annual campaign as part of the 2022 budget deliberations. And further, that Council consider running a United Way payroll campaign with Council and staff. For more information, you can reach out to me directly or visit our website and follow us on social media for anything related to United Way Northumberland. I thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much, Bobby. Council, do you have any questions for her? Or comments, whatever? Seeing none, we'll have to refer this to budget, as you're well aware.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much. That
Thank
was
you so
an
much.
informative presentation. Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful day. Thank you.
Okay, Council, this motion was moved by Greg, seconded by Mike. I'm just going to call for the vote. There's no action on it at this time. All in favor? Carried. Item 8 is report number FD 2021-9 from our fire chief, Dave Dawson. He's not here. So are you going to go through this, or
between Pat and I will do our best, yes.
Okay. Just who wants to start?
Oh, I can go.
For the bylaw.
So
Fair
a couple things. First of all, the fire statistics. So there was 36 incidents that happened in the month of September. And the fire department held an open house on October the 3rd, and all 3 stations recognized Fire Prevention Week, and it was a successful day. And then under the Fire Protection and Prevention Act, every municipality shall establish a program in the municipality, which must include public education and respect to fire safety and certain components of fire prevention. So the fire chief has attached his report, and he's seeking council's approval of the education report.
Okay. Council, any comments on it?
Any questions, you can direct them to Troy.
Okay. Any questions on this report, public education? Fire prevention and public education? I think he's got it well documented. Anything you want to tell us, Troy?
I have nothing at this time.
Okay. So I'm going to read the motion then, which I should have done before. Be it resolved that report number FD 2021-9 from Dave Dawson, Fire Chief, dated October 21st, 2021, re-fire department updates be received and filed. And further, that council review and adopt the fireworks bylaw number 81-2021 as discussed at the October 7th, 2021 council meeting. And it's coming up later in the meeting bylaws. And further, that council approve the Alma Calderman Fire Prevention Public Education Plan as required under the Fire Prevention Act 1997. Have a mover, please. Councillor Philp, second. Councillor Booth. All in favor? Carried. We have an administration report. Item 991. Admin CAO 2021-04 from Troy Gilmore. And I'll read the motion, get it on the floor. Be it resolved that report number Admin CAO 2021-4 from Troy Gilmer, CAO dated October 21st, 2021. Re-coronavirus COVID-19 immunization policy amendment be received, and further that council approve the amendment to the coronavirus COVID-19 immunization policy. Have a mover. Deputy Mayor Gibson, second, Councillor Philp. Okay, Troy.
Okay, thank you. Yes, as it says, it's just an amendment to the policy that we previously passed for the COVID-19 immunization policy. This is just one more step to ensure that the public, our families, co-workers, everyone is doing their best to make sure it's a safe workplace. So this would be sent out to the contractors that are working in our facilities, and as said, just to make sure we're all doing our best to make sure it's a safe workplace. I'll
Thank
answer any
you.
questions. Yeah.
Any questions? I'm sure this is happening in a lot of places.
It's all around us, yes.
Yes, okay. Any further comments? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Carried. Item 9.2, report number A014-2021 from Pat Kemp. Be it resolved that report number A014-2021 from Pat Kemp, acting clerk, dated October 21st, 2021, strategic plan review be received and filed. And further that council concur with staff's recommendation to hold a special council meeting on Tuesday, November 3rd, to review the recommendations of the Parks Master Plan Review Committee. And further that council concur with the schedule to accept comments on the revised strategic plan until December 3rd, 2021, with the final adoption of the revised strategic plan scheduled for December 16th, 2021. Have a mover? Councillor Phillips, second. Deputy Mayor Gibson. Any comments or questions for Pat? Or Pat, do you have anything
Yeah, we,
you want to add?
the CAO and I decided that it was such a large document, the master plan, that we should take some time to review it. And that's why we're suggesting that council hold the special meeting on November the 30th. And the revisions to the plan based on our meeting on September the 16th will be coming forward on the November 4th council meeting. So council will have a chart showing them what we've decided and how the plan is to move forward.
Okay, thanks. And I had a little discussion with Pat. I'm wondering if we missed adding some comments on economic development as the township moves forward. Should we set that with this strategic plan or let the next council pick up where we left off? So we could discuss that at that meeting. Yeah, okay, that's good. Any other comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Report 9.3. Report number A015-2021 from Pat Kemp. Be it resolved that report number A015-2021 from Pat Kemp, acting clerk, dated October 21st, 2021, recommittee appointments be received and filed. And further that council approve by bylaw the appointment of Sheldon Quirion and Ken Wood to the Grafton Communal Water Committee effective October 21st, 2021. And further that council approve by bylaw the appointment of Jean Wilson to the Heritage Almwick Haldeman Committee effective October 21, 2021. Have a mover? Councillor Hogg, second. Councillor Philip? All in favor? Carried. Okay, here we go. I'm not taking you through all the communications. Item 10.1, correspondence from the Township of Adelaide Metcalf, October 8th, 2021. Be it resolved that the correspondence from the Township of Adelaide Metcalf dated October 8th, 2021, supportive resolution, federal and provincial funding of rural infrastructure projects be received, and further that we need direction from council here. I would like to see us support this if everybody's in agreement. So it's a request for further infrastructure consideration fund. Is that okay? Motion to support?
Yes.
Counselor Phil, second? Counselor Booth? Any further comments? All in favor? Carried. Item 10.2, correspondence from the Northumberland Manufacturers Association, NMA, and Hop-In Technologies launching the commuter shuttle for manufacturing employees. We had this at our last meeting. Be it resolved that the correspondence from the Northumberland Manufacturers Association and Hop-In Technologies relaunching of a commuter shuttle for manufacturing employees be received and filed. Could I have a mover? Mover. Councillor Hogg, second by Deputy Mayor Gibson. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. So 10.3 is the list of correspondence to receive and file, so I'm just going to read them out. Be it resolved that the following correspondence be received and filed. Lower Trent Conservation dated September 30th, 2021, re 2021 progress report. AMO Communications dated October 7th, 2021, re AMO policy update, increased staffing in long-term care and red tape reduction bill. AMO Communications dated October 12th, 2021, re AMO policy update, Phase 1 Regulations of Conservation Authorities Act released. The Ministry of Northern Development, Mines and Natural Resources and Forestry dated October 7th, 2021, re-proposed amendments to the Crown Forest Sustainability Act, 1994, Professional Foresters Act, 2000, and the Public Lands Act, Ministry of Northern Development, Mines, Natural Resource and Forestry, included in the Supporting People and Business Act 2021. The Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks dated October 7th, 2021, re-regulations under the Conservation Authorities Act. The Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks dated October 13th, 2021, re-decision on the proposed land use compatibility guideline. And the Office of the Solicitor General dated October 14th, 2021, re-community safety and well-being plan. Can I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Booth, second. Councillor Phillip. Any questions or comments on any of these that you want to comment on or pull out? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Now we're at our bylaws. Item 11.1, bylaw number 81-2021, and this is our fireworks bylaw within the Township of Alma-Caldwell. Be it resolved that bylaw number 81-2021, being a bylaw to regulate the setting off of fireworks within the Township of Alma-Caldwell, be read and deemed to be passed this 21st day of October 2021. Have a mover? Deputy Mayor Gibson, second. Councillor Hogg. Any questions or comments? Not seeing none. All in favor? Carried. Item 11.2, being a bylaw to authorize the extension of an agreement between the Ministry of Community Safety and Correction Services of Ontario and the Township of Alma-Caldwell. Be it resolved that bylaw number 113-2021, being a bylaw to authorize the extension of an agreement between the Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services of Ontario, Ontario in brackets, and the Township of Alma-Caldwell the township in brackets, for the provision of police services under Section 10 of the Police Services Act, RSO 1990, CP dot 115, be read and deemed to be passed this 21st day of October. Have a mover? This is bylaw number 114, 2021, to amend bylaw number 60, 2021, to appoint members to all boards and committees in the township. Be it resolved that bylaw number 114-2021, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 60-2021, being a bylaw to appoint members to all the boards and committees for the Township of Almac-Haldeman for the term 2019 to 2022, be read and deemed to be passed this 21st day of October 2021. And I had just read those out. So can I have a mover, please? Councillor Philp, second. Councillor Hogg. All in favor? Carried. Item 12, announcements and notice of motions. And Mike, you're up first.
Thank you. And through the mayor, I have a couple of things to report on. First of all, I attended the Lower Trent Regional Conservation Authority meeting last week, and they were deliberating on their budget for next year and looking at what percentage increase that they might be coming forward with. I just would like council to know that I put a motion forward that that they reassess the number that they came forward with, and I don't believe that it's in the best interest of any of the townships to know what that number was, because I felt it needed some revising. So the motion was accepted and carried, and they are going to go back and look at what they can do to help solve the problem. So I just wanted to report that to council.
Good, that's good to hear. Thank you.
The second piece of information I have just came literally across my desk a few moments ago, and that's why I turned my phone on. And it is from the chair of the library committee, and they have asked me to approach the auditor on behalf of the board to request a meeting so that the board members' questions regarding the audits of 2020, 2019, and 2018 can be answered. I was party to some of this conversation because I was at the last library board meeting, and I did mention to them at that time that that council had offered the auditor as a possible solution about maybe 6 weeks ago. So I was pleased to see that they've taken the invitation. And so I will be approaching Pat probably to set up this meeting between the auditor and the library board. That being said, council has already invited the library board to sit in on our audit, which I believe is the 4th of November. So that will give them a chance to hear the auditor and the auditor's report in its entirety. And then they should be able to drill down and develop a line of questioning that should solve, I'm quite confident that it will solve any questions that they may have. I also mentioned to that board, or the library board, that auditors don't come for free. and that I would expect that they would incur the expense of the auditor to have the invitation accepted by the auditor. So they are aware that there is some expense to this as well. So through the mayor, that is the report on my docket for today, those two items.
Thank you. Perhaps we could, maybe Troy, save them some money if the auditor addresses the library budget the day they're here with the entire auditor's report, if he would have time to do that, because, he's not here all day. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been speaking with the auditor already, and he is ready, willing, and able to comment on each department, not just the library.
Yeah,
So he will go through it extensively, and if the library feels that they needed any added information, that'll be the library's decision to reach out to the auditor at their expense, and he can specialize in the library on their time, on their dime. So I have been speaking with the auditor, so they're well aware of everything.
okay. I mean, we could even open it up to the library if they had questions, written questions they may wish to ask on November 4th.
Mhm.
Then they can get all the correct answers. Okay, thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Counselor Booth?
Yeah, just a couple of items. I have a meeting tonight with the Ganaraska Conservation Area, and I believe it's going to be coming up tonight about what they're looking for an increase of next year. So I'll bring that information forward next meeting. Mike and myself did attend the Grafton Water Committee meeting yesterday. Was a quick meeting due to the chair. No, we didn't have very much on the agenda, but what we did have was something very important, which was it was a report from Bruce Highcamp. He's the gentleman that monitors our wells and does sampling and testing. And in his report, he just talked about, questions were asked, and that he talked about that for 25 years or more, the town, the testing that he's done has never picked up any toluene. And now this year, for some reason, we're picking up trace amounts of toluene in the water. It's very low. The question was asked by Councillor Mike to him, is it a concern with the province? And right now it's not. What they have done is the province has asked us, instead of doing annual testing, that we're now doing quarterly testing, just to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
We don't know where it's coming from. What was suggested from the province is that it's possible that it's a naturally occurring from peat. I guess it's peat moss, right? Right. That it could possibly be coming from peat in the ground. So they will in December be doing some specific testing to see if they can try and tie it down if it's something like that. Also in the water board meeting, the RFP is out, right, Troy, for the water services.
That's correct.
The contract ends with Lucy at the end of this year. So I believe the RFP ends sometime in November 5th.
I believe it's November 5th.
So we'll be able to review that and then hopefully have some information on what's going on with that.
And Lucy will be putting.
Yeah, and Lucy did say they will be putting a bid forward. And that was it. Other than Lucy has a new person. It used to be Sean, used to be the person that looked after our account. Now the gentleman's name is Adam Taggart, works for Lucy. He came from the city of Belleville, I believe. So he's now on board with them and he'll be looking after our maintenance and stuff like that.
Good. Thanks, Greg.
That's it.
Counselor Hogg?
Yeah, I've just got one thing. I had a woman ask me the other day if there was going to be a memorial service in Roseneath on the 11th of November. And I said, I really haven't heard anything. And I was just wondering if things are in motion for that or.
I haven't heard yet, but I'll reach out to Jennifer Steen to see if she's usually involved with all the events. So I'll reach out and I'll let council know, but I don't know. I would imagine.
I got
it's still
something on that.
Go ahead.
I was talking to Jennifer, or she was talking to me, or what, anyways, we were talking. And I asked her about Roseneath as well. And the RNC committee has a meeting on November 3rd. And she's going to bring that up at that meeting. But, you know, I have a little concern with that because that's a night meeting, so that the next day is the 4th. That's only a week. It's pretty hard to put it together in a week. So maybe you can talk to her, Troy, and see if she can just bump that up on her schedule.
Talk to her, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think we need to have something there this year when we can have, 100 people outside, and they missed last year, so.
It's going.
And I was here the other day to receive the first poppy and got my picture taken with the president of the Legion. The poppies will be out for sale October 29th. So their service will be similar to last year at the cenotaph at the Legion. They will place the wreaths, a lot of the wreaths themselves, and then they will allow families to come around and place their own family wreath if they wish, or they will place them for them. So October 29th, we can buy poppies. Okay, anything else, Jim?
No, that's everything.
Myself. Okay, I got a couple of things. Actually, some things I received by email. This one's from Peter McCluskey, and it's regarding Ontario Garlic Week, October 29th to the 7th. And in summary, this is an inaugural Ontario Garlic Week, and it's going to run from October 29th to Sunday, November 7th. Hopefully that food and beverage establishments and craftspeople across the province create and sell at least one garlic inspired item from their location. The food item used must have grown be Ontario garlic. And, you know, it's dine in or patio or takeout or delivery, whatever. So they would like us to promote the Ontario Garlic Week, October 29th to September 7th. And if they asked about us getting it out to our food establishments, craftspeople and garlic farmers in our area, and share with our tourism and economic development people. So, and we have a hashtag here. So I think what I'll do with this is give this to Pat, and maybe Jennifer can get that on our social media. Everybody likes garlic. It's healthy. The second one is Lunch and Learn. I got this email from Tiffany Taylor, and I'll just read it to you. Mayor Gail Latchford and Council. I would like to introduce myself. I am Tiffany Taylor, the Indigenous Aware Coordinator at CIPS, Cambium Indigenous Professional Services, located in Curve Lake First Nation. As November 1st to the 5th is Treaties Recognition Week, CIPS will be holding lunch and learn sessions during that week from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on the Williams Treaties. I hope that you, your council, and municipal staff may attend the session. The cost is $99, and here's the link to register, which is there. I am able to provide a group discount for groups over 10 people. Please reach out if you have 10 plus participants for a session. Please consider sharing with your networks who may be interested in joining a 1 hour of reconciliation learning. Miigwech and have a great day. Tiffany Taylor, and her title and phone number. I don't know, is anyone able to attend one of them or wish to attend? We have training dollars, staff and council. November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Okay, comment on that?
Gail, can you forward that email
Uh-huh.
along so that we can have a better look at it
Okay,
and determine whether or not we're able to attend?
yeah. And it's $99, which I didn't think was too bad. And it's also available on Zoom. So do we have staff that might be interested in that? I'm wondering.
When you send it, I'll take a good read.
Okay, thank you. And the hospital funding that the county has been requested for, the first one, as you know, was 1 million a year for 10 years for capital. They've revised it now and come back with 1% of the levy over 8 years. So as the assessment would increase, that 1% would increase as well. So we had quite a discussion at county council on it yesterday. And we've asked for a few more details, and we're having a special meeting November 4th again. So that's coming back. There hasn't been any decisions made on that yet. So if you're talking to people. And you know, some of the discussion is, do we just do the 1%? Or do we make a financial commitment for the 5 or 8 years? Because there was quite a conversation about tying up or putting future councils in the position of not being able to, just having to go on with it. I like the idea of having an option for at least after 5 years. And whether or not people would appreciate the 1%, or if they would be in favor of the purchase of a piece of equipment. So these are capital dollars that they have to raise themselves for the hospital. So I just wanted you to have a brief on that as well. And I have a list, another list. Have we been successful yet, or know anything about the seniors grant that we applied for, that 25,000?
No, I haven't heard anything yet.
Do we have a date?
I
Is it-
honestly don't know.
Okay, so we're
Jennifer
still
submitted
waiting.
That one for us, and typically it's 3 to 4 months.
Oh,
before we
that
hear-
long.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had this idea go through my head. We have money for advertising. And I'm finding when I'm out around and talking to people, they don't really know enough about what's going on in the township. And I was wondering about, you know, we now have the fireworks bylaw and a couple other bylaws they maybe should be aware of. If we could do a one-page flyer, we don't have to mail them. We can put them in the community centers, the libraries, wherever else we can put them, and people pick them up, so anyways, I'm in no particular order here, but such things as we're now going to have an emergency public works number. That'll be new for it to go in. And maybe something with COVID restrictions. We have the fireworks bylaw, the cannabis bylaw, and other bylaws. We have our strategic plan highlights. And it might be nice to acknowledge Ray Ben's, the naming of the park at Centerton. And, you know, we've been successful with grants, 50,000 for playground equipment at Sandy Bay, 100,000 for the arena trails. So things like that are of interest. And if we get other grants that we get approved before then, that'd be good. You know, let people know that the plan is to hopefully get started with a public works build in 2022. And we got 250,000 for natural gas expansion in Grafton. and something from Public Works on winter roads and about our arena. And maybe a couple of other things that staff or anybody else can come up with. And I'd also, part of that would be near the end, thanking them for keeping as safe as we can with all the protocols that they followed through COVID. So I don't know what you think about that. Before I come up, I asked Carol how much money we have. And I think council has 1,500, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Carol, left in our advertising budget. And admin had 4,000. We spent 1,700, there's 2,300 left there. So this would only be to the full-time residents. I think she told me it was around 1,200 to do a mailing, which is a little expensive, but if we put them out where they can be picked up. Go ahead, Mike.
I think the idea is great, and I would support it. Certainly social media as well.
Yes, both.
I would possibly tie it to maybe Christmas greeting as well, if the timing suits. And I would say it's well worth the investment of dollars to bring that kind of positive messaging to the community, and update them on some of the successes of 2021. And I would even consider calling it Successes of 2021 and a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, even though it has to be Merry Christmas might be outdated in in that people recognize Happy Holidays. It's more generic than Merry Christmas, but
Well, you and I still like
I'm a
Merry Christmas.
guy,
Troy
but
won't let me
that's-
use it.
That's okay. But anyway, I would support it 100%. I wouldn't be as concerned. I'd like to know what the number is, of course, and my fellow counselor, Mr. Booth, would definitely like to know the number. But I would be in support of a significant investment along that line. I think it's a great idea. I support it, Mayor.
Yeah, it would just be this size, both sides.
Yeah.
United Lake to Lake at the back and our crest up here in the corner. And we've had some staff changes that people aren't aware of, if the department heads' names and their extensions, just briefly. And on a colored sheet and
make it look great.
make it look good, and it could be done in-house. Now, Carol said it can be folded on our own. The only thing we might have to do, depending on the number, is take it out to be printed.
You could also, in terms of distribution, you could give a certain number to each of us to distribute at our committees.
Yes,
I would like to take
and
some.
your neighborhood.
Absolutely. I would like to take the two, for example, to the committee chairs that I sit on and say, here's what we've been doing,
Yeah.
including the bigger organizations like Lower Trent.
Yes.
I think it would be of interest to them to see where we're at and what
Yeah.
we're up to.
Well, and I'm sure you can think of other things to go on it as well. And I think it would just be nice for people, especially since we're unwinding the COVID and hopefully we can get back into, people gathering. So Sherry, did you want to say something?
Nope. You go ahead and then I'll.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mayor Latchford. I just wondered, because we've had such success with social media, if we could have a person like Jen Steen do like a monthly e-blast. People could sign up to it. And so it wouldn't be a compilation of so many, months of activity, but anything that had happened in that month that residents or anybody that signs up for it would be interested in, we could put in there. And it might be a great communication tool to get going.
Oh, I think that is too. And, even though a lot of our seniors don't have computers, it could be printed and just tacked on the bulletin board in the community centers or wherever.
Yeah.
They're going in to play cards or do whatever.
Yeah,
They get to.
I'm not against the print copy, because I think there's still people that like to print pick up those print, but I think we're missing an opportunity.
Yeah.
With regular, communications out by email.
Yeah, it could be monthly or bi-monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea too. Greg?
That's a good idea. I was going to suggest a quarterly type thing. I know there's other municipalities that do a quarterly report but I like the idea of a monthly one. And maybe you can even sort of a hybrid thing that maybe it's once or twice a year that there is maybe a paper one that gets mailed out or something with emergency numbers,
Changes.
yeah, and numbers that people need, they put up on their fridge or something like that. But I think it's a good idea. It's great. And maybe Jen can look at it for budget time of some numbers that, what would be mailing it out maybe twice a year and then a monthly type blast like Deputy Mayor Gibson said that, about snow plowing and this and that and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Great. Well, now I'll just, I wasn't going to do this, but I'll give you my next idea. We don't spend our advertising budgets ever. So, we're asking for that money every year and we're not spending it. But the other thing, and I've talked to Troy about this, we don't have promotional items either. And we've talked about that before. And one of the things I suggested to him was a notepad, about half a sheet notepad, and the front cover be the contact numbers of the municipality and emergency numbers, and not a whole lot of pages to it. They can rip that off and stick it in their phone book, and maybe a pen. We were talking about when we could open up again to greet people, that we could have something promotional. I think it would be inexpensive and just a nice little piece of information, but yet something they can use if we look into that. Mike?
I don't know how this is going to happen, but that's 2 times in a row I've agreed with the mayor. So I better stop right there. Good idea. And on that same concept, Mayor Latchford, what about a staff appreciation, a seasonal staff appreciation piece? We have historically done something for staff in the past, and your idea spawns this one. I'll just turn that back to you.
Okay, I'm fine with that too. And we have done staff appreciation. I don't have issues with that. We can leave that in Troy's hands. And we can also take the little booklet idea to Jennifer Steen. Staff, see what they can come up with. So, and costing, and maybe that would go in, if we could put it under advertising, or we could take it to next year's budget, but then you're waiting on into spring. I'd rather do something now. If council would, depending on the cost of that. Yeah, okay. Deputy Mayor Gibson, I'll be quiet now.
Pat, can we just get direction that council asked staff to bring back a report on the advertising, on the promotional material and the staff appreciation, and then we'll pull together that information for council.
Okay. Do we have any pens? We used to have boxes of pens with the township on it.
No, we used to have mugs, glasses, pens and all that. But I think it's all-
Nothing. We're right
it's
down to nothing. So we should look at a costing on some of those
been a tough
ideas.
Couple of years.
Yeah. Well, and we weren't around to hand anything out, so. Okay, so then I'll entertain a motion that staff bring us back costing on a simple flyer and booklets. Do you want me to add pens? Whatever.
Bring you back.
And I think there's glasses somewhere yet.
Used to be.
Used to be?
I don't know if there's any left.
Okay.
I'll look.
Just something promotional and staff appreciation. Sure.
Could we add into that motion that staff investigate the launch of a monthly e-blast?
Yes, add that. And you'll
I'll
second it?
second it.
Sherry, you'll second it. All in favor? Carried. Okay. 13, oh no, Sherry, you're next. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Latchford sent council a email from MPAC in regard to the 2022 municipal levy. I wondered if that was information that would be interesting for residents to have up on the website.
Oh, I think so.
So I just was hoping that we could pass that along to staff to put up in regard to the 2022 levy and the 0% increase for anybody that's listening. So I think that's a good thing. I wanted to make everybody aware that Recreation and Culture has changed their regular monthly meetings to the first Wednesday of the month to accommodate some members' schedules. So the next meeting will be November 3rd. As I think you previously indicated that, but that is a change in the regular monthly meeting.
Okay.
That-
And
that's
they're
all
going
I
to
have.
stick with the Wednesdays, are they?
Mm,
Okay. Anything else?
That's all.
Okay. Item 13, this is, we're going into a closed session. Following the adjournment of the regular council session of Thursday, October 21, 2021, the Council of the Township of Alma-Calderwood will be holding a closed session in accordance with Section 239, 2B, C, E, and I of the Municipal Act 2001, as amended, to discuss personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, to discuss a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, to discuss litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality of local board or local board, and to discuss a trade secret or scientific, technical, commercial, financial, or labor relations information supplied in confidence to the municipality or local board, which, if disclosed, could reasonably be expected to prejudice significantly the competitive position or interfere significantly with the contractual or other negotiations of a person, group of persons, or organization with the CAO, Deputy CAO, Manager of Finance, HR, Acting Clerk, and Deputy Clerk remaining in attendance. Item 14, 14.1, this is the confirming bylaw. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 115-2021, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the regular council session held on Thursday, October 21, 2021, be read and deemed passed this 21st day of October 2021. Have a mover, please. Councillor Hogg, second. Councillor Philip, all in favor? Carried. And adjournment at 1:38. Have a motion to adjourn. So moved. Sherry, second. Mike, all in favor? Carried. That's pretty well record time, Troy.
I just want to know if it's possible that we could get like Gucci sunglasses for the counselors.